All right, guys. This is going to be a short audio on the subject of Goshen. Um, the picture that I've chosen to use to um, illustrate the things that I'm going to share with you is the one that you see above here. This is Goshen, a light in the darkness. Now, Goshen is a region that was designated for the Hebrews um, during the time of the plagues. Now, this piece of land was given to Joseph's family um, after Joseph rose to prominence in Egypt after a long period of um, enslavement, harsh labor, false accusations, and the like. So, the first thing I want to say is that um, the things that happened before in regards to God's people, um, those things were written down, and it was written down for us today that we could look back at the things that God's people experience and how our Creator um, provided and protected and delivered us in the past so that we could have um, hope during times which appear to be dark. Um, the God of Israel doesn't keep his people in the dark. He gives us light that we might understand um, basically what time it is and where we are, that we won't be groping around in the dark, right? So when we look at um, even the people that sat in great darkness, light shined unto them and allowed them to see um, the path that they should take, which is the life of the Lord Jesus. He is the way, the truth, and the life. And today, things that are going on appear to be very dark in America. And I want to encourage my brothers and sisters in the Lord that we are in Goshen. Now, as we look around, there's no denying that America is being judged, uh, just like Egypt was judged. And as God's people, be still and know that God is fighting our battles and He is our God. We recognize what's going on. Whereas a lot of people, well, all people that are in the world are just thrown into a state of confusion and chaos as they see the reversal of the curses. Um, when the plagues were being unleashed on Egypt, um, the area of Goshen was unaffected. Um, when Egypt was thrown into darkness, there was light in Goshen. When the cattle died in Egypt, they survived in Goshen. Um, the place of refuge was untouched by these plagues. So the things that happened to the Hebrews happened because of their disobedience. But Jehovah Elohim always promised restoration, that his people would be restored to their rightful place and be obedient to him and accomplish his will as intended from their creation through our forefather Abraham. Now, we see that when Israel was disobedient, um, they were ran out of the land, or they were captured in the land, and they were enslaved or exploited by the invaders. When they were obedient to what the Most High said to do, he fought for them, he went ahead of them, and he drove out the nations, and they were to move up and occupy the land. So when we look at the expulsion of um, certain groups today, we can see um, what's happening to them. It is the same thing that happened to God's people. So we don't want to be confused about what's going on, but we want to be aware so that we could know what to do during these times. All right, so just bear with me here for a second. All right, now if you look at this picture, it has some various things on it here: the land of Goshen, Succoth, Philistines, Egypt, Mount Sinai, Median. But if we look at this, this is a map, if you will, of the journey of the children of Israel. When we look up here in the land of Goshen, this is when Joseph was there. He rose to prominence. He sent for his father and the rest of his family, and all of them came and they resided here. Now, this is way before um, Moses was born, and this is before the law was given at Mount Sinai, but we can see a repetition of the journey, and we can see a correlation between the children of Israel um, before Moses and with Moses and our journey today. So the land of provision, protection, Goshen, Succoth, when they had to live in booths in Moses' time after their liberation from Egypt. The Red Sea, the wilderness, after they came through the Red Sea, how they wandered in the wilderness. Here it is, Mount Sinai, where they were given the law. Median, where they were facing battles with those that seduced them to um, participate in activities which caused them to be cursed. So I'm just using this picture to uh, show you how those things which happened then are repeating themselves, and how we, as children of the Most High, are connected to these modern day world events by the word that shows us what's going on. Um, it's important for us to understand that there was a literal seed. There is a literal seed of a literal line, successive line of Hebrews today that are connected by blood uh, to the Israelites. And a lot of people who haven't done the research or haven't received the revelation, or some people refuse to receive the revelation that they are literally Hebrews. And it really helps when you know that, because you can see where you are in God's divine plan. If you know now, um, Moses didn't know that he was a Hebrew, and this was revealed to him, like it has to be revealed to you, like it was to me. I advise you to do your research so you can connect the dots, see how these things are affecting you. Now, one of the things that the children of Israel didn't do on many occasions, they didn't go up and possess the land. So there were a few battles that the Lord fought for them. He guaranteed them victory, but they refused to go up and possess the land. So a lot of them have been so conditioned to slavery that they preferred that over um, freedom, basically because they were provided for. Um, so they preferred Egyptian bondage over having to exert some effort to go up and possess and maintain what God was providing for them. So, as we see opportunities presenting themselves now, as um, the inhabitants of the land are being forced off, and we refuse to go up and take our positions in some of these opportunities, we can see how this is the same issue that they had also back then. So I just want you to take a look at this picture up here. Now it says open doors for Joseph's in a Goshen season, and there are a lot of, if not all, all of God's people have to go through their Joseph season, um, and a lot of people have been in pits and in prisons, um, feeling like it was a glass ceiling over them while they were in Potiphar's prison. Now, in your own personal life, you're going to see some people being pushed out of places that are going to open doors for you that have been previously closed. And you pray and ask God, should you go through that door? Because it has been closed for a long time and you couldn't open it on your own. When God closes a door, no man can open it, but when he opens a door, no man can close it. So we want to make sure that as these doors are open for God's people, that we know which ones to go through. It is a Goshen season as we see the nations wrestling with their judgment. Doors are opening for Joseph's descendants, if you understand what I'm trying to say here. Um, I want to say that I'm I am no uh, teacher. I'm just sharing um, what's given to me, and I'm hoping that it will be of benefit during this time for anybody that's listening. Now, God always gave warning in regards to the plagues as they came down. You know, Moses went and spoke to Pharaoh, and for example, he's like some of the Egyptians actually respected God and bought their cattle inside. So they, the ones that did it, um, then suffer the consequences of the disobedience of those that did not. So I'm just mentioning that to show you how obedience is rewarded to all who display it towards the Most High God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the God of Israel. Um, I'm gonna keep it short here, but I'm hoping that you will, just chew on these things and try to see where I'm coming from. Um, I'll make another one here shortly. Until then, shalom, peace, and